Welcome to the Upper Room. I'm your host, King Cleve, along with my co-host, the legend that is Larry, and Zeke, the 5-foot freak. For the next 2 hours, we will be giving you a smooth blend of old school hip-hop and R&B. Not to mention some topics that will make some cringe and some clap. With that being said, we'll be right back. Alright, hi, you now back with the Upper Room. And before we get into today's topic, Legend, tell me what's going on in the streets, man.
Well, I don't know if it's going on in the streets, but I can tell you about our government. Republican Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell. Mitch McConnell said that they've already paid for reparations, and they did that because they gave us Obama. They gave us Obama. Not that he got elected by millions of it. They gave us Obama like he went and applied for the position. And so McConnell and his cronies, they were the hiring committee, and so I guess he felt like, well, we're gonna kill two birds with one stone, and we're gonna take care of the affirmative action, and then we're gonna take care of reparations, so we're gonna give him Obama. Like, really, man? Like, give us Obama, man. Dude, I don't know, man. Sometimes I feel like I'm in like an alternate universe. Like, y'all remember the movie Back to the Future?
Right.
You remember when Biff Tannen went to the future and he got the book and he had all the scores and he was able to bet on it and he came back into reality? That's what it's like. Trump went to the future and he came back in 2016 and changed everything. That's how I feel where we at, man. I don't know. It's just above me. It's beyond me, man. So that's all I got, Wes. That's what's going on in the streets. If you call that what's going on in the streets.
All right, well, let's get into today's topic. Today's topic, I wouldn't say it's controversial, but it will make some people squirm.
We're getting in deep.
Some people might not want to watch it with their significant other, but the topic for today is...
Get your children to bed.
The topic for today is, if your significant other cheated, would you take them back? Again, if your significant other cheated, would you take them back?
So we're going to get it. You want me to take that?
Yeah,
I'm going to take that. I'm in the zone right now.
Go ahead,
man. Man, I've been thinking about this topic, man, all week, and I had to immerse myself into when I was married and think about the level of love I had for my wife and put myself in that situation, and she cheats. How would I respond? Yeah, Eric, it's easy to be like, nah, man, I'm gonna trade in, I'm gone, No. I actually would try to work it out. Here's the problem. Got two problems. No trust and no respect. I'm not going to have no trust. The trust is going to be gone. Okay? Every time she goes somewhere, I'm thinking, where you going?
Well, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
What's the point?
Well, that's what I'm getting. Right. But the point is, and I won't have any respect. But that's going to eventually lead to divorce. It's going to lead to divorce. But hold on. But what if I cheated first and then she cheats? You see what I'm saying? So now it's kind of like
still not have the level of trust.
Right. Because now I'm thinking this. Oh, she did that out of retaliation. You really didn't forgive me. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking she just retaliating, and yeah, that's going to lead to divorce because, yeah, every time you go out the door, I'm thinking, she going to see old dude, So, yeah, it'll be difficult, but, okay, how about this? Why is it more difficult for men to forgive women than women forgiving men?
I think it's the same. Because we live in egos because we worry about what the next person gonna say, our friends gonna say, our family gonna say.
Right.
And then when you say cheating, is it a level of cheating or is cheating cheating? Is it cheating if you look at somebody and be like, damn, she fine or he fine? Is that cheating?
No, you know what we talking
We're
about.
talking about physical cheating right now. We're talking about physical cheating right now. And we'll talk about emotional affairs later. I want to touch on that.
Okay, well, I think it's going to be equal then, because if you cheat and she cheat, you still going to have that level of, I'm not going to have that trust.
Right.
So, and like, you know, like the King just said, why stay? Because you know who you are as a person. I know who I am as a person. He know who he is as a person. Are you going to be able to deal with that and live with that?
Right. Well, yeah, I'm agree with you, because I'm like, look, it's a hit to our ego, it's a hit to our manhood, and this is my personal theory about it. I feel like, hey, growing up, I feel like, hey, our parents, our society, our culture, our family, they've all groomed us, okay, to go out and play the field and this and that. So, and also, our manhood, everything is wrapped up into our manhood. Everything as far as like our performance in bed. Okay? How many women, and I'm talking about when we were younger.
Right.
Okay, so I'm trying to paint the picture. When we was younger, everything was wrapped around our manhood, our performance in bed, and how many women we had. Okay? And so with that mindset, as you go through life, you know, that's the part where, okay, then you finally get to where you see your wife and everything, you with your wife, it's like, well, wait a minute, man. You know, there's a switch that you got to switch off. You can't turn that switch off because your whole life you've been practicing, right. But society has groomed us this way. But they don't do that for girls. It's a different mindset for girls.
Okay, let me say this, and I'm going to go back to what you said. Why is it easier for women to forgive than men? And I don't think that it is. I really don't think that it's any easier. I think they handle it differently. And, you know, they hold more in. And it's not that you're necessarily forgiving, but they just handle it differently. It's held in. You know, while we ranting and raving, and, you know, a woman can sit there calm and just look at you.
Yeah.
And, you know, she may be mad at you know, and show emotion at the beginning, but then afterwards she just kind of fades back. But
also, I think the fact that women, they were raised differently. And let me give you an example. Like, for a woman, they were taught, hey, you want to be a virgin as long as possible, or
wait till you get married.
Right, and you want to, or limit the number of men, because that's a reputation that they want to have. So, in my opinion, they have developed better coping mechanisms to deal with sexual urges and the desires, because, yeah, you're right, they have the same desires and urges that we do.
Right.
But they have, to me, over time, I just feel like they can deal with it. They're more disciplined than we are. As far as us, we've been pretty much given the green light to just go out and sow our royal oats and do all these things, but then all of a sudden we got to turn that switch off. And I'm not making excuses, because yeah, at the end of the day, the man, this is just an explanation. The man still is going to have the will and desire not to go cheat, regardless of what society has groomed us to be. He has to have that will and desire, and if you really got any more issues, you're going to have to go and acknowledge and deal with that. But you don't get second or third chances, I'm just saying.
But, okay, and the same thing like what you're saying with the women, you say they more disciplined. Could it be that they more clean on what they're doing? Not letting out a lot of information? Because they don't have to talk about what they're doing, but like you say, as men, we got to, hey man, I got 3 yesterday. I got a double-double.
Well, yeah, because we got to build that reputation.
Yeah, but she won't go and tell nobody.
Right, because their reputation is trying to.
But not only that, because if she go tell another friend that, hey, such and such did this good, and they, for real,
yeah,
you get down like that.
Yeah.
So in other words, they game tighter than ours. Basically, what you're saying.
They game is.
They game tighter than ours. So and listen, I can agree with that. Whereas with men, you know, we risk everything. You know, we jump, we'll go pick them up, ride them around, and take them there. But you know, a woman is not going to do it. She's going to go, I'll meet you here, or my girlfriend.
I can't do that ride, don't call me.
And listen, let me shake up everybody's world for a minute.
Go ahead, shake it up, bro.
For those sitting here on their high horses and pointing fingers, everyone has been involved in this topic in some way, one form or another.
I agree.
Whether you cheated or you were cheated on. Now, I'm not saying necessarily in your current situation.
Right. Right.
But throughout your lifetime, it's been one or the other.
Right. Right. Right.
So now, what that does is it sows seeds of doubt for the next person that you're in a relationship with, the next person that you're dealing with.
You've been damaged.
Because your questions and conversations different.
Okay, so now, with that being said, how do you release the baggage to move on? Because this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. Let's just say hypothetically. Okay, I'm in a bad relationship. I'm cheated on. Okay, we break up. Years go by, whatever. I meet a young lady. Boom, we get in a relationship. How fair is it for me to blame her for the sins of the last one? But that's what I'm gonna do, though.
Yeah, but it's not fair. But see, you still stuck on emotions from your past relationship, and she don't have anything to do with that. Or if it's a female, he don't have anything to do with that. Some people don't know how to move and live and move on.
They got to heal, man.
Okay,
they got to heal before you move on to that next relationship.
I'm glad you said that. So that's what I'm getting at. So now, if I have to heal to move on to the next relationship, I have to basically forgive that last person.
Exactly.
So how is it possible for me to do that in that current situation?
You talking about with the next woman?
No, not with the next one, with the same woman.
To forgive.
To forgive. No. You got it?
I got you.
Okay, well, go ahead.
So in order to forgive, okay, properly, you're going to have to work out some issues within yourself because, look here, it's easier said than done. Everybody know, yeah, you're supposed to forgive. We know that. But it's easier said than done. You cannot properly forgive if you still got issues from your past. And I'm not even talking about from your past relationship. I'm talking about from childhood. If you're dealing with some things like low self-esteem and insecurities and you got some fears and embarrassment, you got ego problems, that forgiveness not going to go nowhere.
Because you're going to still hold on.
Exactly. You still going to have that bitterness. So not only you got to heal from the past relationship, you're going to have to heal from the inside internally all the way from your past.
But again, how
to
you do
forgive,
that?
because you're going to throw it back.
How you do
You
that?
got to acknowledge. You got to acknowledge I got a problem first. Okay? You got to say it. I know people say that's basic. Yeah, I got a problem, man. I got low self-esteem, man. I got some fears. Where did that come from? Connect the dots. Go back all the way to your past. Everything goes back to childhood, your experiences, and it plays out into your everyday life, even in your relationships. So that's my thing. But again, forgiveness, man, that's easier said than done, though, man. You know, I mean, yeah, the proper way, yeah, you know, I forgive you, but if you ain't healed, it's gonna come right back up, and especially women.
And you're going to still have
because they're going to bring it up in an argument.
And then that's the question with the king has said, why stay? Because you telling me you forgive me, but 2 or 3 months from now, I got to hear you did this.
But you love her, though, you love her, you got to give it a chance.
No, I'm not saying I give it a chance. Right. If you continue to hear the same thing over and over, you ain't forgiving me because if I stay out late with the legend, I'm doing something. But I'm really with the legend. Right,
but here's the thing, though. I messed up. I cheated. Okay, I'm in the wrong. There's a price to pay. Now we can get on your spouse about, yeah, you're supposed to forgive and you gotta heal and this and that. At the same time, you're going to have to be patient. You're going to have to be patient because there's a price about it's as long as you can last. It's going to be you fighting for your relationship. There is no time on that.
So you're gonna put up with being humiliated.
That's up to you. It's up to that person. You don't have to.
That's what I'm saying.
You can walk away, but if you want it, you're going to pay the price.
But that comes into play, and this is one thing that burns me up about relationships. The first sign of trouble, the first problem that we have with our spouse, girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever, the first thing that we want to do is run to our parents, our homeboys, our girlfriend, and talk about the situation. And then we turn around and get back with that person and can't understand why they looking at them sideways.
Right, because we already told our business instead of going to the person and talking it out with them. I'd rather go talk to them.
Listen, and listen. It doesn't matter as much as, and we're gonna talk about us right here. Us three. It doesn't matter how much I love the woman that you're dating, you marry, whatever you bring into our fold. We have a fold. We've been here since forever. Okay? It doesn't matter how much I care for her, admire her, think she's great for you. But if you come do that and talk that to me, what you have to understand is, beyond that, my love is with you. Now, I'm going, and I've always said this, and you a witness, that if you come to me, and regardless whether you right or wrong, and I could be wrong with this, I'm going to defend you publicly. Right. But privately, I'm going to say, look here, Zeke.
Yeah, and
so that's what I'm saying. But at the same time, but you come tell me that, man, she did this and that, you know, I'm not going to look at her the same. Mm-hmm. You might, but I'm not going to look at her the same. So you might be like, man, what's up?
But you know, that goes to say, like with the females. Let a female go tell her girlfriend something you did, they can't stand you no more. But like the king just said, we can still be cool, but my loyalty is with him. And I've been through that situation. You know, my ex went to my brother Crunchy and was like, oh, he do this and he do that and he do this. And he had to basically tell her, look, I love you. Mm-hmm. But if you gone, he gonna still be here. Right. I'm gonna still see him. Right. I'll probably never hear from you again.
Exactly.
So you can't come and tell me about him. Right. But now, on the flip side, when she was gone, just like the king say, oh, now he ripping me a new one now. You gotta chill out, man. You gotta clean your shit up. You know, you leaving all these evidence behind, you can't do that. But the same thing, she still have that conversation, she still could go see him, but it still be respect. But if it's on the flip end, not all females, but some of them be like, girl, I can't stand her no more. Right. Or you back with him, if I go around her, she probably ain't gonna even speak to me. Right.
Yeah. Well, I guess it just goes back to keeping your business to yourself, but I got a question for y'all. As a man, because we all men, we're all men, do you think emotional cheating is on the same level as physical cheating?
Yeah, cheating is cheating.
Cheating is cheating?
I'd say cheating.
In your eyes.
This is how
I'm not talking. Don't give me what the women think. I'm talking about from you. Emotional cheating. Emotional cheating is texting. It's calls. It's pictures. It's conversations with another woman about your relationship. That's an emotional. Yeah. That is an emotional. Because is that on the same level?
It is.
Yeah. Because you don't know
lead to physical.
Right. Because you don't know what's said in the text. Hey, I hit that. I'm gonna rub that. Right. Suck on that.
But from a woman's perspective, they're looking at.
It's the same.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So, from a woman's perspective, they're looking at that as you investing emotional energy into another woman. So I mean, we all on the same page. So that
Wait. Now with the emotional, let's say I'm looking at porn.
Okay.
But I can't invest in that woman. I can't mess with that woman. I'm just enjoying the porn.
Right.
So is that the same?
Well, it just depends on your woman. If she feels like
she's not talking back to me.
Right.
I'm just watching.
Right. But if you get busted, you know, I mean, watching it, which not be a big thing. But some women may look at that as like, hey, wait a minute now. You know, you don't find me attractive. Why are you looking at those other women? I'm just saying, you know, everybody, I guess, gives a pass for men in porn, but at the same time, I will also put that in the category of.
But see, with the texting, I'm getting a response back.
That's true. I guess you
send me a picture. I'm getting a picture back.
That's true.
If I hit up Dallas Big Booty, I ain't getting that back.
Right.
Well,
that's why he's the friend.
Hey, listen. My whole thing about the quote unquote emotional cheating is that it can lead to other places.
Yeah.
You know, and even with someone who could have been a lifelong friend, and that's all it is. Mm-hmm. You know, you female friend, but the thing is, if you open the door and you cry enough and she lends a shoulder enough, or he lends a shoulder enough and you cry enough, you open that door.
Yeah.
It's only happen.
Yeah, I mean, you see it in movies all the time.
Yeah.
And listen, what's that saying? That life imitates art more than art imitates life.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it can happen. It has happened. And to me, I just think that if that's the situation, then you have one or two options. If you and your significant other are sensible enough, y'all need to sit down and talk. You don't need to go to your other option is y'all need to go to counseling.
Yep.
Now, with that being said, you know, men, we don't necessarily like to go to counseling, right?
Right.
Yeah, that's true. Been there, done that.
But the thing is, you know, we have to step up if we're willing to fight. If we're willing to fight for, you know, what we believe in.
Yeah.
We have to make the adjustments. Now we're gonna step away real quick. We'll pay some bills, and we'll be right back. All right, we're back with today's topic. Would you take your spouse, significant other, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever it may be, back if they cheated?
Wait, let me talk about emotional affairs again, man.
I'm
still on it, man. Because the reason why, because it hits home for me, because it costed two of my marriages. I'm just being real. And seeds of mistrust was planted in both of them. It didn't end it immediately, but the mistrust was planted with those acts of.
Because you still wouldn't heal you.
Well, the reason why I was doing this because of low self-esteem. You see, the reason why I can tolerate and put up with flirtatious behavior and let women do certain things is simply because I wasn't strong enough to be like, hey, I love my wife, man. She wouldn't like me to behave this way, or you know.
Hold on. So you were having an emotional affair?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay. Nothing.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
All right. Lay that out.
It's been a problem. Yeah. It's me. This time. It's me. And so I didn't have the strength nor the courage to tell them that. I was more worried about my reputation. I didn't want people to look at me as weak, or he's getting ran by his woman.
See now,
and so what would happen when it's brought up, when I'm getting busted by the stuff, immediately I will lower the bar and compare myself to bottom barrel dudes. Like, we'd be looking at TV and be some guy going to prison for rape and drugs and all kind of stuff. And like, you see that? So you over here complaining about this. But, you know what I'm saying? So I lower that bar. And I think a lot of guys do that to try to justify, hey, you better be thankful, man. You got you a good man. I'm out here working, you know, taking care of the kids, coming home. I ain't physically cheated, so settle down. And that's when I had to learn emotional affairs is the same. It affects women the same. I had to learn the hard way.
That's why I said it's even.
Well, man, I commend you, brother. Because it ain't never my fault. So, me right in the camera and say that again. I'm joking.
No, but seriously, God said the black man don't cheat.
Who said that?
There you go.
Is that a song?
Yeah, they have a song about it too. Like,
who sings that? Because I've been seeing that on Facebook.
Lil Duval sings.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
but being seriously though, I mean, I understand what you're saying, but what you have to realize in that situation, is any other person, any other man, any other woman, is that you may go to that person with good intentions. A shoulder to cry on, a lent ear to listen.
Yeah.
While they looking to pray. You weak. Man, that may happen more times when the roles are reversed, when it's a woman going to a man. But it's no reason for my woman to have to go and talk
to another man.
Exactly.
If you're taking care of business.
Hold on, exactly. No, listen to this. Hold on. Now listen to this. Let me say this.
I'm not justifying it though. I'm just saying that's what leads them to go and seek counsel.
Well,
I'm just saying.
People go for different reasons. But listen, this is what I'm saying. So, case of scenario. If your woman would have called me and be like, Zeke fucking up, or Legend is doing this, I would listen, and I'd be like, you know what, y'all need to sit down or go get counsel. And that's going to be the end of the conversation. I've had friends before their significant other called me. I used to get calls at 5 in the morning.
Yeah.
And at the time, at that time, I had a girlfriend, and I'd be like, well, let me let you talk to her. Maybe she could tell you more about it. Yeah. So, and then I would call him because it's no reason. That's just that almost offends me because that's just like that's just like her calling me, asking me where he at.
Yeah. Well, shit, at 5 in the morning, it's gonna be a problem anyway.
Why
you at 5 in the morning?
Right. Well, so because they looking for you. Where you at? That's what I'm saying. So now I'm catching the blood of it because you out.
Right.
What up?
But this ain't no confidential conversation. I'm just letting you know that up front. Yeah,
so
I'm gonna call my boy. Oh yeah, don't speak on
Yeah.
But don't everybody operate like that?
Well, that's the safest form.
Right.
Because now you can't say, well, he tried to do this or he tried to say that.
Right.
No.
Right.
That ain't really my business, but I can offer you a little bit of advice.
Right.
What you need to do.
Right.
Right. And being truthful enough, man, I got enough problems of my own to be dealing with other people. Much as I love you, but I don't want to bring your emotional baggage into my home.
Right.
Because that's what it is, man. When you start getting involved in that type of thing, when trust is broken,
being that shoulder to cry on.
Well, stepping away from that, they said when trust is broken, that has to be rebuilt. It is going to be rebuilt. And see, the problem is, we jump in, we want it to be the same that it was in 3 days.
You remember you was talking about how long?
Yeah, but like,
there is no time.
There is no time for anything. Because I'm not going to sit up here and be emotionally abused, always accused of, well, you say
but you messed up though.
But I understand that.
So
and I have.
Right.
But I ain't gonna sit up here and say I'm with King. We went to play basketball. Oh well, you say you was with King, but you at Legend House. Okay.
Right.
Now I'm with both of y'all on that.
Right.
Because on one hand, I agree with you. You have to be able to give that person time to heal.
Right.
Now, how long is long enough? Who knows? It depends on that person. But I'm also with him. I'm not gonna sit around 2, 3, 4, 5 years and you gonna do
we ain't talking about.
But no, but you said it take time. You know what I'm saying?
It take time.
Yeah, being reasonable. Okay. Yeah, I'm not talking about years, but yeah, we sure can't expect things to go back to normal in a week.
I don't think it will ever be normal, because you're gonna always have that doubt.
I read.
Let's go to the mall. Hey, Legend. Who the hell is that? Well, we do have a podcast show.
True that. Yeah.
You got groupies, huh? No, I'm joking. Scratch that. No, I'm joking. But
okay, go ahead.
No, but listen, seriously. It's is damn near a death sentence is what it is.
Right, because you don't know what you're going to get out of it.
Yeah, you don't know.
You don't know what the final outcome will be.
Yeah.
Or you trying to do right, she getting her shit right, and then all of a sudden it's good night, I'm gone.
Yeah, and that's what I was about to say. So
that's
listen,
the gamble. You are gambling.
It's a gamble.
And it's how much is she worth it?
But,
how much?
Well,
then you can get one of the vindictive people who, okay, yeah, I'm just gonna get you back.
I'm gonna stay with you, but I'm gonna get you.
I'm gonna dog you. So again, what's the point? Listen, I kind of did a little bit of research and I looked up and they gave like 15 reasons why you should take your partner back if you cheated.
15 reasons why you should.
Why you should.
Share it with us, King.
Okay, one, and I don't know them all, but I remember one, which was pretty high, was that they come out and admit it to you.
Okay.
You don't find out on your own. Okay. And I guess maybe, they may soften the blow.
You built some honesty, trust points.
Yes. You know,
I don't know about that.
Okay.
Because you didn't know. But now she's telling you, how long have you been doing it?
But listen, so one was, it was only one time. Another one was, they're willing to go to counsel. Now, some of them were stupid. Another one was, they hurt, they tore up about it. Mm-hmm. The number one reason was they were plastered.
They're drunk.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Now, I was drunk.
So,
I'm just saying.
I'm going to go ahead and piss off the men right now. Ain't enough drugs and alcohol. You know exactly what you're doing. In fact, alcohol gives you that bonus to do what you really want to do. Yeah, man.
Well, I'm just saying. I'm just saying what was written. I'm not saying my views, but I'm just telling you what was written.
Right. Well, I did my research too.
There you go. Let's get it.
Share it.
The Institution for Family Studies says out of men, 20% of the men cheat. Out of women, 13%.
That's reported.
Reported.
That's honest enough to report it. Okay, let's say it like that.
Say that again.
Out of men, this just men.
20%
of men cheat. 13% of women cheat. But out of Caucasian males, 16% cheat. Out of African American males, 22% cheat.
But that's wrong.
And Hispanic, well,
we just said a little while said black men don't cheat.
Right, exactly.
And that's what we rolling with. We got to step on this thing, man. Okay, well,
and Hispanics 13% cheat. And you know they're going to be lower because they're more family oriented. It may be.
So why we not? What's our problem?
Because the way we was brought up in society, we don't eat at the table no more. Right. We don't eat at the table no more. You know what? Legend, go in that kitchen and find you something to eat. Mama, I ain't cooking tonight. Well, me and my boys going.
Yeah, but society grooms whites, Mexicans, all of them pretty much the same when it comes to the wink. Go out there and go and sow your seed and go have fun.
And I agree, but the difference with our Caucasian people, you know, they're gonna teach their kids how to make money.
Yeah.
They're gonna invest their money in them, and then if I go, I want you to take over my company. Where not all, but like us, if I have $1 million and I made it in 3 months, I'm not going to tell you how I made that $3 million because I'm afraid you're going to make more than me. Well, like as us, we came together and said, hey, let's get a podcast show. Well, you came to me first, and then the king came to me, and I was like, hey, we can't leave Murph out. He came to me, and we came together. It wasn't no divide or conquer. No, man, I'm not doing this.
Well, then maybe the reason is because maybe black men put too much weight on our manhood and our
sexual conquest.
Exactly. And because...
Call it what it is. Call it what it is.
Put too much on that, okay? And so because there's so much weight on that, you know what I'm saying? So... But
why? Why is that?
Well, I mean...
Well, part of the problem is you. And then when I say you, I'm speaking your homeboys. That's part of the problem.
Growing up.
Here we go.
Without peers, our football friends, our classmates. When have you ever had a homeboy say, say, dog,
man,
I love my girlfriend, man, and I ain't gonna never cheat on her.
You love her?
You ain't love? You see that face you make? And on top of that, we'll look at him kind of strange, like, say, dog, you alright? We'll think he gay. I mean, because that's kind of weird. Why do you act like that?
Right.
You know, but again, it goes back to the mindset, what I was saying earlier, about how we are groomed. And that's why I was making the point, how I feel like women have a better coping mechanisms when them sexual urges hit. And
I have to disagree. I disagree. You can't, it's being...
9 times out of 10, man, if a woman gonna step out, she's not gonna step out just to be stepping out. There are women that just step out simply because. But for the most part, it is... See, we think the first time a woman step out on us, the first thing we think of is, oh man, she with him because of something physical.
All right, let me ask you this.
And we looking at it.
Do you think men fuck as much as women, or they fuck about the same?
It's probably the same, but when you talking about the amount of people, like how many partners?
I'm pretty sure they move around too.
Yeah, but
they numbers ain't gonna equal up to ours.
And that's my point.
It ain't gonna equal up to.
That's my point.
Right, but they doing the same thing.
Well, they're doing the same thing, but there is a rhyme and reason for it for the most part.
I disagree.
I believe that.
I disagree.
I believe that. For the most part. I didn't say all.
I think
so you think females got the same mindset as us?
They have the same sexual urges as us.
I know that, but they have a better coping mechanism. They have a better coping mechanism, Otis, to deal with it. They can restrain. I'm not saying, they can keep their mouth shut. They know how to carry on a relationship and take it to the grave. We don't know how to do that.
And I agree with you on that. But I'm saying that they are no different from males. They do the same thing.
I disagree. Yeah, they do the same thing, but I just think I don't think it's the same.
Listen,
look, we can have a woman, man, as fine as Beyonce and Halle Berry,
and still cheating.
And she treating you like dirt.
Perform in the bedroom like a porn star, okay? Cook and clean, and we'll still go out and mess with that troll right around the corner. Because we lack that defensive coping mechanism unless we deal with the issue, okay? Whereas a woman, they're gonna step out, but I think it's a lot more emotional. There's a lot more probably some neglect. There's been some disrespect, which I'm not justifying it. I'm just saying.
Listen, man, you are never, and this goes for any person in a relationship, not only that type of, it could be a friendship. It could be a relationship with your homeboy, your homie. You are never going to find everything that you seek in one person.
Nope.
It's just not going to happen.
You're right.
It's just not going to happen.
You're right.
You're right. And so now it boils down to, can you overlook this person's deficiencies,
imperfection,
as opposed to what carries more weight? You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
The rights or the wrongs, the ups or the downs. So you like I say, you're never gonna find everything in one person. And that's it. Listen, I say that all the time. You can get with a person. I never understood how you'll see people who will be married for 20, 25 years and then they get divorced. That blows my mind. It baffles me. And because
you put in all that time.
And, well, when you talk to them, she didn't do this. Well, guess what? When you go get with this next woman, it's going to be something that she did that you like, that she not going to do.
You're missing that.
Right.
You wish you had that now.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. So it's always going to be something lacking.
Right.
So the best thing that you can do with that situation is buckle down, grit your teeth, and make it work.
Yeah, but and a lot of times it may not be. It could be you.
It could. It could be the way you looking at it.
It could be you. You know, that was my issue.
Let me say this before you go on that. One thing that I've learned in all my time here on this earth is that just because, and this doesn't make sense to everybody, but just because someone isn't loving you the way you want to be loved doesn't mean they're not giving you everything that they have.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
But then, you know,
sometimes we have unrealistic expectations.
Right.
And then the thing too, what we lack in too, I know as some men, what I had to learn, sometimes you need to let that person know what you want.
Right.
Instead of having them assume what you want, what you like. This is how I am.
Right.
And you know, as men, we want, like you say, you with the thing, we want our women to wake up looking like they just walked out of a magazine.
No doubt.
You know, you don't want to roll over and see the, well, I call it a popcorn bag on the head, you know, hair wrapped up.
Right.
Keep it real. Popcorn bag. That's gonna keep it real with you. Right? So we're asking for
a popcorn bag.
You know, we want them to look like they looked when they was 21, 20.
Right.
But here it is.
Right.
How can I expect my woman to look like she was, you know, 25 years old?
Right.
And then I done put on about 60 pounds over the years.
Right. We almost 50.
You know what I'm saying? Exactly. So it's not realistic.
Right.
It's not realistic and it's not fair.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Okay, now we're gonna get ready to take a break here in a minute. And when we come back from the break, we are gonna take callers. All you have to do is send in a request. We will bring you on live in the show to give us your point of view. But also be respectful that it is time restraint, so we can't sit and let you talk for 30 minutes.
But we can't hang up on your ass.
But we're going to try not to do that. So, with that being said, we're going to get ready to step away. And
be back at 10, King.
10 minutes?
10 minutes. Use the bathroom, get you something to drink, something to eat, go check out the BT Awards, come back in
That's
10.
what I'm going to do, ladies. Give me something to drink.
I already got my drink.
You're not back with the upper room. And before we go any further, we want to give a shout out to Stationhead, which is our mother station, for giving us this opportunity. Also, we appreciate you tuning in on Facebook Live, Instagram, Twitter Live, and other things, but we definitely need you to sign in into the radio station. We want to get our viewers up, and we thank those who have tuned in to the various social media posts, but we appreciate also that if you signed in and tuned in to Stationhead. And you can download the app, it's free. As long as you got Spotify or Apple Music, you can listen to the music, and we'll go from there. This is a special segment, part of the show. This segment, we're going to take live callers. We want you to come in and give us your 2 cents, so to speak, on the topic that we've been discussing. Don't hold back. Just realize that, you know, we do have some time restraints, so we can't let you talk all day, but we do want to hear what you have to say. So with that being said, if you're actually on the app, you can see where you can request to be on, and we would definitely bring you on. So getting back to the topic, which is, would you take your spouse, significant other, boyfriend, girlfriend back if they cheated? Now we've it's funny because we've had 3 totally different views. I mean, I guess this is what it's all about, and it's funny because Legend has had one view. He's been at one end of the spectrum. Right. Zeke has been at the other end, and I've kind of been right in the middle, where I agree with both of them at times. So you know, we're going to jump back into that, and if you want to be on, if you want to speak, just go ahead and send us a request, and we'll get you on. So I'm going to go to my left first. I'm going to go over here to Zeke. Let's just, you know, kind of summarize what you've been saying.
Well, basically, I think, you know, when it comes to if you would take your significant other or your spouse back if they cheated, I honestly feel that, you know, even though you can work it out, I still think it's a 50 two-way street, but I don't see how it can work, because in the back of one another's mind, you're going to still have that self-doubt about, oh, he's doing this again, or she's doing this again, or I'm trying to do the best I can, but maybe what she's doing I don't know she's doing, but I'm gonna end up finding out. So it's gonna still be some tense and some diversity in there.
But again, it just still goes back to being able to properly forgive that person. And I believe that if people properly know how to forgive, and that means they have to be healed in order to forgive, and that means not bringing stuff up in an argument. You know, you have to be able to deal with your own issues from your past to properly forgive. I think it could work. You know, I think it could work out. But again, that's easier said than done, because yeah, everybody's dealing with some type of issue. It's not like we all walking around, you know, healed and whole. The whole point of us being here on planet Earth is to work through our issues. So I guess basically, if you have some issues that really pertains to you being unable to forgive, yeah, that's a big issue. You know, regardless on whether, you know, the person has hurt you or not. You know, another thing that I feel like is a big factor that men, that we don't really look at, is that emotional connection that women look for in a relationship. You know.
So in other words, with men, it could just be sex.
Right, and women, you know,
not all women.
Not all,
okay.
but women, you know, they at a certain point in a relationship. Now, your girlfriends, they're not going to want that, because they don't want to run you off. But once you get married, you know, that your wife, your spouse, they want oneness. They want transparency. They want you to be vulnerable. They want you. They want to know. They want to know the real you. And so I think men as a whole, not everybody, I think we struggle with expressing ourselves emotionally, because I always go back to the past. Think about how your uncles and your coaches and pretty much everybody, you start crying what they tell you. Hey man, hey, shut that up. Hey, quit acting like a girl. So we've been groomed to take these feelings and our emotions and file it away and put it to a place to where we walking around damn near like cyborgs. And then we go through life like that, you know. And again, women, they want an emotional man and they don't want an emotional man. So yeah, they'll complain about, oh, you don't meet my emotional needs, and you know, you don't express, but they want you to at least to come over a little bit towards the middle. That needle is way over here. You got to come over. You can't just be like, well, that's just the way I am. But it's a struggle for men, because finally after marriage, now we got to turn on that emotional switch, and it doesn't turn on, man. It's hard to do that, because there's some fears that's been developed. We protect ourselves. We have an ego. We have a reputation. And one of the issues is, even though we love her with all our heart, we really don't want to go there, because what if you use that back on me in an argument? Mm-hmm. And that's happened, you know. And let me just tell women, when your man gets to a point where he's taking steps to start being more vulnerable, and he's being open, and he's giving you some information, some personal information from his past, you cannot use that information in an argument, because he will go back to his cave and never come out again. I promise you. He will go back into that shell, and you will never ever, that oneness, that opportunity is gone. It's hard for us. It's easy for women, because they're emotional beings. It's easy for them to be expressive and share. For us, man, we keep that inside, man, because we men.
Well, I disagree with you about keeping it inside, because I don't know if you recall, it had to be maybe 9-10 years ago when I seen you coming down 61st and I was heading down Broadway.
Yeah.
And we stopped and talked. Mm-hmm. And myself and the legend, we both been married twice. Mm-hmm. And it's funny, and I use his quote right now to this day, that you never know what a man going through unless you talk to him. So we pulled over on the side, rekindling about our past, high school. Mm-hmm. He knew I had just moved back home, and we was going through the exact same thing. Mm-hmm. He was going through a divorce, I was going through a divorce, both was cheating, both got caught. And we sat there and we talked about it, and it wasn't a joking matter. And before you know it, we had 2-3 other classmates that pulled up, going through the same thing. Yeah. But we wouldn't have never known that until we talked to one another.
But there's a difference, though, for talking with my boys versus expressing that with my wife. Because for whatever reason, I'm still trying to uphold. I don't know. Maybe it's a trust factor. I don't know. Yeah,
but like you say, the vulnerability, you don't want that person to throw it back on you.
Man, do you realize, man, there were times with my ex-wife, man, I can feel us getting close. This is how bad my issues were. I can feel us, we'll be having a deep conversation, and I'm being expressive, and I'm talking about things from my past, and you can feel the oneness. The energy is just like, and I was sabotaging, like clockwork. Because it was, I can feel myself like, oh my God, man, I'm really falling here, man. And the fear of it, I felt like I was falling off of an Empire State Building or something, man. That's how bad the fear was. And I would sabotage it, I would be distant, and she'd be trying to figure out what the hell is wrong with him, like this and that. Simply because it was a struggle for me to be expressive, man. Go there, open up.
Let me revisit the topic. Would you take your significant other, boyfriend, girlfriend, spouse back if they cheated? And after sitting and listening to both of you, can we not agree that it's circumstances? It's what led to the cheating.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, we visited physical and emotional cheating, but what led to it? I mean, you know, what was the cause? Or what was the root? Was it me?
Mm-hmm.
Was it that I cheated first?
Mm-hmm.
Was it that I shut her out? Was it that I was so busy, you know, worrying about chasing money or doing whatever it was that I was doing that caused her to do that?
Mm-hmm.
Now, could you bounce back from that, as opposed to you doing everything that you can do, but she just won't step out?
For me personally, I think it's hard to bounce back from that because I still, in my opinion, think that it'll still be thrown in your face, and then you're going to be subconsciously worrying about, like you said, if she go to the grocery store, she going to the grocery store.
Yeah, you'll be paranoid.
She going for an hour, it don't take an hour to go grocery
You're going to be paranoid.
Right.
You're going to be checking.
So that's not fair. Right. It's not fair to her and it's not fair to you. Now, should you try to work it out? Yeah. I mean, every male or every female should try to work it out, but I think it's not going to be as genuine as it was when you first met. You didn't have no self-doubt. We first trying to talk. Yeah, I know you had people in your past. I'm not worrying about that. But when we together, there can't be nobody else.
Does time heal all wounds?
Well,
I know we keep going back to that
How long
time
is the time?
thing, and I know, and then we keep
How
going
long
back
is
and
the
forth
time?
with that, and it's. I believe it does, King. I believe it does. I believe if you value your wife, your family, your marriage,
Well,
you will do what it takes.
that has to do with the circumstances, because like what I say is what's going on. What do you stand to lose? You know, a lot of times, and I hate to say it, but it can boil down to, you know, I'm on the fence. What pushes me to one side? What do I have invested? Do I have children?
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people make decisions based off of that. And you know, like I said beforehand, we're going to try to take some callers in. We really want your feedback. We want you to help us out, because evidently we at a standstill here. We got 3 different opinions. Nobody can agree.
As usual.
And so that's what it is. If you want to be on the show, you go ahead and request to be on, and we'll take you and listen to what you have to say.
King, do you think that children is a good enough reason to work on staying in that relationship?
No.
And I have to agree. Because the thing is, you don't want your kids to be in the back, because kids sense things, they know things,
Right.
and it's not healthy for them.
Right.
Because if my kids see me coming in the house and not speaking to my wife, but I'm always coming to speak to my kid, and my kid used to seeing me play around with my wife, but not seeing me play with my wife,
Right.
or her playing with her husband, they see that.
Right.
Because you know, if the kid gonna end up asking mama when they together, why you and daddy ain't talking?
Right.
Or gonna end up asking daddy,
Right.
why you don't give mama a kiss when you come in the house? You come and give me a kiss.
Exactly.
So you stand for the wrong reason, and some people use their kids as crutches, whether it's a male or a female.
And the environment can be so toxic, to whereas you think you're doing a good job by staying together for the family, but the arguments and the things that you're saying towards each other is such a severe level to whereas that's damage toward those kids. And then hearing and they seeing that. But at the same time though, sometimes the children actually can lead you back, and you still and what it does, because you can get selfish at some point. Some people could just be selfish and be like, I'm gone. Sometimes the children are the reason why you need to get on back, because maybe you didn't, the issues that you've developed, you know what I'm saying? So, I don't know, man. So, I look at it on both sides, but I do agree that, yeah, if you're just getting back and the relationship is toxic, it's not good, yeah, it's best to go separate ways, and, that's tough. It's a tough situation.
It's funny. It's funny that with this being a topic that it is, man, we can't get nobody nobody want to touch it. We got people sitting here listening.
Don't be scared. Don't be scared.
They don't want to be called out. Or they don't want to hear what they have going on.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is, man. What we sitting here, we trying to get to the bottom of it. We need your help.
It's real talk, but it's real situations that's going on every day, in every relationship. And I just feel like, we just need to be able to connect the dots and heal some of it. And I keep saying it and everything, man. You got to get healing. You got to get healing. You can't get to a point to whereas, and we are notorious for this. Man, this is who I am, man. I am who I am. That's who you marry. No. You can't stay stagnant. You can't stay at a certain point and stop. You have to continue to grow and evolve. We'll get to a point where we'll get married and be like, shit, we just put in cruise control. Why? Because, hey, I'm covering the basics. I'm working, taking care of my kids, but there's more to it. That's just the basics. And so we steady have to continue to grow and evolve, and that takes, and to me, man, that's what women come in, that's what they're good at. Now, they can be worrisome, they can be complaining, they can be bitching, but at the same time, that level of not being satisfied actually pulls the best out of us, because leave it up to us, shit, once we married, man, we'll just kick our feet up on our recliner and put on ESPN and we gonna die 50 years. Like, that's it. So you steady have to keep evolving, you have to keep growing, you have to keep learning, you have to keep changing. It's a constant change. That's why we're on planet Earth anyway. That's why we're here. And it's gonna take a lifetime to deal with the issues that you were born with or whatever you dealt with. And then just continue to grow. But I just believe your spouse is the best person to help you, because they're going to tell the truth. We'll tell the truth, you boys, but your spouse going to go there. We ain't going to go there like your spouse. They're going to tell the truth. And they see some things because they've seen the behavior over time. They've seen it over and over again. They can see the cycle. They know within 3 months, oh, here we go, he's going to start acting. And we don't see it because, hey, this is just the way we've been all our life. You think you're not doing anything wrong, but they can bring up some stuff, and it takes a humble heart and an open heart to be like, babe, all right. And a lot of times we're not trying to hear. I know I ain't trying to hear, because I always go back and keep the bar low. God damn, man, you complaining again? Man, I'm working, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. It's not enough. I mean, think about it. I don't think most women got with their husbands to just be like, oh, I just hope that he just works. I mean, like, it's got to be more. It's got to be more. It can't just stay at the same level. And I just think that's a frustration. And with men and women, I'm not going to be just one-sided. There's some trifling women out there. And, they're not all good. But, that's just where I'm at with that, man. But anyway, I digress.
You digress?
I digress.
Listen, the issue is, man, that we all capable of.
You got a message, huh?
We got a call.
Yeah, we got one. I don't know what it is. We trying to get her to come on live. She just sent me a few messages.
It's our first call, our first text.
But what I'm trying to do, is get on the station live.
Because you read her text and she sent a text.
Yeah.
What she have to say?
Yeah, well, she's saying it depends. Relationships are always growing. If the person who did the cheating have taken the time to understand why they did it,
cut off right there.
it cuts off, and that's why we need you to come on. So we gonna try to get you on here. All you have to do is accept the request.
Come on, Cletus, come on.
And we can bring you on, and you can speak your piece over there.
Yeah. But can you read that? Go back.
You want me to read it?
No, I guess let's just wait to see if she's gonna come on.
Yeah, she gonna come on. Let's get one brave soul.
But we got you on the clock. You got 30 seconds.
But like I was saying, man, it's just, man, you know, you have to look at the situation, the circumstance. It's a lot. But it's easy to sit here and say, oh, you got to look at the circumstances and situations when you're not in that situation at the time.
And all situations are custom.
You know,
change.
You cannot paint a broad brush over every situation. And that's why it's best to stay out of people's business.
Exactly.
Stay out their business, man. You know, they getting into it. Yeah, you know, he called out her name. Yeah, she threw something out about, hey, man, leave that alone.
Read that again for the legend and we can elaborate on that. Even though it cut off.
Again, she wrote, it depends. It depends. Relationships are always growing. If the person who did the cheating have taken the time to understand why they did, and then of course it cuts off.
Yeah, that actually just goes back to what I've been saying.
But my thing is though, like she said, it depends on the person.
Hold on. Here we go.
We got action.
We got action. We got action.
It's our first texter.
Go ahead and accept it, and then you'll be on.
But like I was saying, while we waiting for her to come on, like, then you'll begin to understand why the person cheating. It ain't no understanding. I can tell you, well, I did this because you wasn't doing this, or I did this because I felt you was doing this and doing that. But
sweetheart, you have to accept.
So how you gonna understand
that I'm sending you back.
I know you wouldn't be able to understand.
But I see what you're saying, Freak. But there's always room for understanding, and it ain't gonna make it better just because you gave me a good explanation.
So the explanation could be good?
I mean, regardless, if you give me a sensible explanation, like somebody put a gun to your head and made you do the girl, okay, that's a good explanation. But, you know, I
guess that would be a good explanation.
I mean, yeah, but I'm just saying, I think that, yeah, there has to be some understanding, and I think every person wants to know why. And so, if your spouse cheats on you, I don't think you just want to just ride off, man, you cheated, I ain't trying to hit nothing else. No, I ain't gonna lie. I want to know when, where, what, why is something I did. I need to know, because though that information is going to help me determine if I'm going to stay in this thing or not.
But see, you remember on the movie when you're like, you can't handle the truth? You know, so many people say, tell me, I want to know the truth. But you really don't want to know the truth. Because if you find out the truth, you're going to still leave. If you find out the truth, you may stay, but eventually you're going to leave. Or if you find out the truth, you're going to try to deal with the truth, but it's still in the back of your head.
So do women really want the truth?
I don't think they do. Because they can't live with it.
Not all of them.
Not all of them.
We got to make sure we don't talk in absolutes.
Not all of them.
I mean, you know, I think they do want the truth, but the pain of the truth is so severe. To sometimes I think women will compromise that and would accept a lie knowing that you're lying.
Right.
Knowing they know you lying. But if that lie is good enough, they will lie to themselves because they love you that much. They don't want the relationship to end. Now, when it's just up in your face and you can't deny it, and you got the video in hand, that's you. I mean, that ain't me. You know, you start acting like R. Kelly.
But what happened to the principal? You ain't come and touch me and say, yeah, I see you. You're going off the hearsay in the video. That could be altered.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I mean, you know.
Okay.
Believe me, she know your shadow, please. And then, you ain't getting away with that, man. That video dark, girl, please.
But he got the same car as you.
She know that speck right on your beard. She know everything. No, but yeah, man, it's you know, I think that the truth it hurts. And it cuts so deep and going down, but it's good in the end because, and that's another thing, man, with being honest, man, with your spouse, man. A lot of times we don't want to be honest because we don't want to deal with the consequences. And that's the fear that we have inside of us. And we don't realize if we just be straight up honest, a lot of times women would forgive because you would get some props for that. I realize that.
I don't know that.
No. You could. If you lie about, there's a chance because honesty is the best policy. And
yeah, it's the best policy.
Right, but you can earn some respect. I'm telling you, they will respect. Right. They still. You got action.
We got some action. We got some action. Let's get this brother in. We got somebody by the name of G-Town. Let's get him in here.
All right.
Dog, it's your boy K Bell calling, dog.
What's up, Gary?
What's up, dog? I see y'all doing y'all thing. I sure can appreciate three brothers working it out, doing something positive. So kudos to that.
I appreciate it, family.
Already.
You know what I'm saying? So my first one is the Murph. You know, he said something about, you know, conditioning between men and women. And I think he has a good point because growing up.
K-Bell, let me cut you off real quick. Let me ask you this. How were you able to get on? Because we have some other callers that's having difficulties getting on. So what was it that you did to get on? Once the invite was sent to you?
I just accepted it. It just came on and I accepted it.
Where? Was it at the top? Or?
A link.
Huh?
You sent me a link.
Yeah. So it came to you on the actual radio station. And
yeah, it came to me on the app.
Okay. All right. We'll go on.
So I was going to say, it's like, echo what Merck said, you know, as young men, we weren't allowed to cry, we weren't allowed to show emotion, so it conditioned us to be emotionless. And so when you think about some of the situations that we done been in, from young men to men, from boys to men, if you will, it keeps us in that kind of a circle, a cycle, basically, that doesn't allow us to acknowledge or accept our own immortality, our own weaknesses, and our own emotions. Right. So therefore, I free with Murph. Like some of it is conditioned. The other part of it, I gotta go with Brown, and that is it's about choice. You make a choice, right? Everybody makes choices, and I think that at the end of the day, as a man, you gotta own your own choices, and you gotta ride with that.
I hear
appreciate you, brother.
Yeah, Bill. Appreciate the call, man. I think at a certain point, there is a level of responsibility. Regardless, we can make excuses and have explanations about our past and everything else. Once you get to the level of understanding, then you have a responsibility to start changing. Because you can't keep making the excuses. You can't keep saying, well, man, yeah, that's the way I grew up.
Acknowledge that you need to change, though. You can't just change if you don't know you need to change.
Right.
Everybody don't think they need to change.
Right. And that's the first step, is just admitting it. Because you can't go through no other steps in the process until you first admit it. Man, I got a problem, man.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. I got a problem. You got to start there first.
Right. And then starts to connecting the dots, going back into your past, dealing with some things that, again, man, everything that happened in your childhood, it's going to affect your adult life in some area. Right. In some area, man.
No doubt.
Hell, good hearing from you, bro.
Man, we greatly appreciate it, man. You're our first caller, man. We greatly appreciate it. We value your comment and then what you had to say. And man, make sure you keep tuning in, man. Make sure you keep tuning in.
Man, I support you brothers, man. I'm in with y'all, riding all the way.
I sure appreciate it, Ken Folk.
Thank you, Kerry.
All right, Ken Folk.
All right.
What was that?
Man, I was just about to say, man, I would love to get this young lady on. I guess we just can't connect with her.
probably want to tell them again what they need to do.
Yeah,
Mr. Bell said he hit the link, right?
Yeah, well, it's a request. Hold on, we got a request right here. Here she is. Okay. I've hit the request. Now all I think you have to do is accept it.
And y'all bear with us. This is our first run, so we're gonna have a little kinks.
But
Stand by technical difficulties.
But anyway, back to the subject at hand while we're dealing with this. Dealing with something as devastating as this could be, because you know this can be. I mean, it can be ground shaking.
Yeah, it can affect everybody.
Yeah,
Life changing.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Life changing.
It doesn't just affect those two people, especially if it's children involved. You know, it affects your family. It affects her family.
Right.
So multiple people end up being hurt because, and listen, you know, it could be a situation where, let's say, you know, the man cheats or whatever, where her mother, his mother-in-law, is just so in love with him that, you know, she forgets. You know, the spouse might necessarily, and then so it's why are you still okay with him when you see what I'm saying? It just brings so much
confusion.
Exactly into the situation. So I mean, with that being said, man, I mean, listen, and I'm no relationship guru by far, not even close. But I just think that, you know, as people, as human beings, who, you know, we don't value the next person enough when it comes to our wants. This is not necessarily our needs, but our wants.
Right.
I am regularly trying to get this young lady on before we before we get out
we
here.
have to, King. That should be our number one priority.
Yeah, I want to get a female perspective on this. Yeah. I really do. Cause she seems like she has some stuff to say. She sent in a few messages. So we really want to get on. I really want to hear what she has to say. I mean, we three men, three wise men.
Yeah, three wise.
Three wise men. I think that you really can't get much better than this, but you know, it is what it is. So
when you mess up as much as we have, the experience and the wisdom and the knowledge that we gain, you know, experience, you know, it's the best teacher, man.
Yep.
It's the best teacher.
You can always tell someone about your defaults and what you did wrong.
Right.
And then, you know, like you say, he ain't no expert in it, but I can tell you about me. Can't tell you about nobody else.
Right.
Exactly.
But I can tell you about me.
And that's my whole thing about, you know, I do share some intimate situations of what I've gone through, and the point of doing that is not just to put myself out there, but I really honor people's marriages, and, you know, especially black marriages. It's so important that our families and our communities got to have a strong, it starts with the woman and the man. And so, you know, I support that, and that's why I talk about those things, because I want people to learn from my mistakes, man. I really do. It is a deep desire, it's a passion of mine, and especially my friends, my family, you know, like, man, I want you to make it for real. I don't want you to go through this. I don't want your children to deal with that. That is a pain. When they compare divorce to death, and like I said, you've been through it, it's real.
Yeah,
it's real. And when your kids are there and they're steady crying, Daddy, when you coming home? And, you know, these are the things that a lot of times you don't think about when you're in that little moment, when you're about to give that 2 minutes to that little troll around the corner, what you're about to give up. And when it hits, yeah, that it's not like, if somebody dies, in my opinion, okay, they're gone.
And
but
you know
a divorce, you see that every day. You deal with it. You see that. One day you're going to see her with somebody else, with your kids. So, I mean, so many levels to this, man, to where we really got to understand the price that you pay for doing stuff like this, for infidelities, for affairs, and things like that. You got to be disciplined, man, and you got to take the steps to make sure that, yeah, I got an issue, admit it. You know, you got to go through that process, man. Listen. They're trying to tell you something, man. But that's just where I'm at, man. With it, man. When I talk about some things, man, I really want people to learn from my mistakes, man. You know, my brother's getting married, and I talk to them all the time, man. Don't make the mistakes I make, man.
Man, that's wonderful. Well, you know, we tried. We had a few technical difficulties. We were able to get one call on the line, which was great. Let's wrap it up with some closing thoughts, and then we'll go to Zeke, and he can give some final shout outs. But let's start over here to the right, legend. Let me get your final thoughts on this situation.
My final thoughts is that, first of all, there's nothing you can do to stop your spouse from cheating. Let's just get that out the way. Male or female, there's nothing that you can do. I've seen in magazines and the stores, 50 ways to keep your man from. There ain't nothing you can do. There's nothing you can do. Okay? It's up to that person to have the will and desire, the discipline, to be able to outweigh. You got your wife and your kids, and you got this right here. And so that has to overcome whatever urge and whatever's going through. Second of all, you have to connect the dots. You have to deal with your own issues, regardless if you the victim or you the one that did the cheating. In order to forgive, you have to be able to be healed to properly forgive, or you're gonna lead to divorce. And that's pretty much it, man. You know, that's all I got. King.
Zeke?
Well, I'm a close out with this. My thing is I got the triple L's, the 3 L's. I think a person needs to live, learn, and let go. And when I say live, I think you need to live your life, you know, to the highest point that you can. You know, enjoy your friends, enjoy your family, love them, be with them, but it's a part of learning. And then the second L is to learn, because after you live, after you being living, you need to learn from your mistakes. Or you need to learn from others from their mistakes. And I think once you do all of that, from the cheating and all of that, then you can learn to let go. And when you let go, that don't necessarily mean that you don't love those individuals or the people that you've been with,
right,
but you just may not love them as much. Because you still have to carry on.
Right.
And then, you know, how you going to sit up and be with a person for 2 or 3 years and then you say, I don't love them no more? Well, you love them for 2 or 3 years.
Right.
You may not be in love with them as much,
right,
but you still should have some feelings for them.
right.
You know, and so that's what I'm going to lead with. And I just think some people, I hope they got a good message from what we talked about tonight, and I hope it helped.
Well, I will say this, that I do agree with that. If my whole thing is, once you love someone, you kind of always love them in some capacity.
Yeah.
You do it. I mean, there's just no way around that.
You're gonna care for them.
Yeah, you're gonna love them in some capacity. With that being said, we'll go back to Zeke, and then I'll finish it up. But we'll go back to Zeke and let him give us some shout outs to the people that need to be recognized.
Well, first off, we want to let y'all know, like the King had said earlier, you know, we're not gonna always be going live because, you know, we got bills to pay. We were Stationhead. We hope y'all download the app, and then y'all can start hearing us more on the radio. So as far as us going live, we probably do that once every other month. But we want to give some shout outs to some of our sponsors, the Kiddie Campus Daycare, Ground Zero, blog site, Hempworx, LC and the 30th Street Jazz Band. Yeah, the legend is a part of that band, so y'all can come and watch him out when they were doing shows.
Me and my old man.
Busy Bee Cap Stand in Galveston, Fourtrephotography, Picture Perfect Photography, DiverseCity Reality, and T. Napoli Health and Natural Chef.
I can tell by the vibe. I be playing crazy, baby, half of the time. I know when you lying, I can tell by the vibe. I be playing crazy, baby, half of the time. I know when you're lying. I know when you're lying.